Well, howdy YouTube gamers, welcome, and as you can see, a channel called Silvermont uploaded a video about PvP. It's called PvP in Dark Souls and Elden Ring is bad, and I'm quite curious about opinion of this gamer because this guy is essentially an OG. If you're gonna look throughout his videos, he has many lore videos. I wonder what type of critique of Souls PvP this gamer actually is going to bring.
Hey there.
Hi.
My name is Alex. I am
Hello,
Silvermont,
Alex.
and I feel this could be my most disliked video ever. But then
Okay.
again, if I'm anticipating that, maybe not. Usually it's when I have a sentiment that I think is quite normal, not controversial, and people erupt over it. Whereas this opinion is controversial, I think. Not that I'm trying to be. At any rate though, Dark Souls PvP, Elden Ring PvP, I think it sucks. I think it's outdated, poorly implemented, and it's a mechanic that people take way too seriously for baffling reasons. Let me preface all this by saying
It's okay. So this is the moment where I initially finished watching this video. Like, I have decided that I want to watch it on the live stream because gamer mentions that people take the game too seriously for baffling reasons, and I wonder if that's gonna be one of these videos where the gamer is going to be complaining about tryhards ruining PvP, or maybe there's gonna be something else. But yeah, like, so far this video has like a very weird vibe of being about practically nothing. Yeah.
I don't have a problem if you enjoy PvP. If you enjoy invading, that's great. Man, I put hundreds of hours into Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 on the 360, invading, making PvP builds, doing fight clubs. You know, it was new, it was novel, it was exciting. Back then, I had a lot of these same thoughts, and I kept telling myself, oh, the next game will get it right. Well, why do I say it sucks? Netcode, balance, and a lack of cohesion and development over a course of a decade, primarily. Demon Souls invasions were quaint, and they were novel. It was very new idea at the time.
Wait. Is that guy suggesting there was like no innovation whatsoever within like PvP across the years? Because it's kind of not true like at all. I mean, like, Demon Souls had like a kind of bare bones type of invasions. After that, like, Dark Souls 1 had the continuation of it, but addition of various different covenants that were actually kind of altering invading as the mechanic, and instead of like regular red invasions, you had, for example, like a Gravelord invasions and so on and so forth. Then Dark Souls 2 went with basically entire multiplayer to completely like new level with implementation of crazy covenants like rat covenants and other things that were kind of mind-blowing. But yeah, like, Dark Souls 3 ultimately made it so that invasions were quite like one big ecosystem where various different covenants meet each other, and every session can end up being like completely full. Like, there was like a 6-player limit, and you could have had in one session a guy that was a Mad Phantom, regular Phantom, a guy that is like Aldrich, and so on and so forth. And it's not like formula of the invasion stays the same, like, not at all. This is not true. In Elden Ring, we have an example of simplification of the system, and From Software missed the mark. But they also tried to maybe not innovate, but tried to approach invasions from different side. It's just that they failed. As simple as that.
There's been another game that did something similar before Demon Souls. It's possible. I'm not aware of it, but, you know, I haven't played every game. Dark Souls is where I jumped in. I never had a PS3 when Demon Souls came out, so I only ever watched people play. But I watched a lot of it. So I saw a lot of the funny and weird things people did, and it made me want to play. Scraping spear users terrorizing people. I saw soul levels gone, like tears in the rain. But Dark Souls, that's where I got my first go at it. So it was still new to me, it was still novel. It was neat, but man, it was busted. The netcode was awful, and it's still pretty awful now. We have a PvP VE focused Souls game coming out for the Switch too.
Okay, like, is his take on netcode being bad, just the fact that it is laggy, because like he shows these clips of some dudes basically standing still and getting hit without actually receiving damage. Because if that's his idea of what is a bad netcode, then no, it's not a bad netcode. It's just a guy like disconnecting, having shit net, and so on and so forth. Like you could argue that maybe like the game's supposed to kick this type of individuals out of the session or something, but netcode in the Souls games, whereas back in the days of Dark Souls 1, it was pretty bad, that's true. Dark Souls 2 has fucking terrible netcode in various like ways, like, but Dark Souls 3 and post Dark Souls 3 era, like it's pretty okay. It's pretty good. If you play on the low latency, the netcode is very accurate. It doesn't have like many of bugs or any at all. Like you can very accurately just pinpoint the position of the opponent, and you can end up with very cool plays in the process. But let's hear what this guy is about to say. I just want to understand what does the gamer mean by bad netcode?
PvP VE focused Souls game coming out for the Switch 2. Is it still going to be awful? Probably. We'll see, but I don't have high hopes because the PvP in these games has not really evolved in 10 years. In some ways, it's de-evolved and stagnated. The latency, the netcode, the hit detection, it's all awful. You get hit by people swinging at you from miles away. The backstab fishing in Dark Souls 1, where two people strafed towards each other, phased through the body and backstabbed. Balance issues like the...
Holy shit, this is such a bad take. That's not a bad netcode. It's just From Software not understanding the fact that you're not supposed to allow players from across the world to connect to each other. It's really as simple as that. Literally today, I think we released a short where you have an example of the well, Freudian sleep, I guess. Hitbox porn, yeah? Like, look at this. First strafe. What? But hitbox? But hit detection? But netcode? Another. Dodge them, lol. Bad? I don't think that's bad at all. Like, I think Jinai has like a video from the network test where literally just you can see like how well this netcode actually works when the latency is just right. And like, dude, I think this is pretty fucking good. I mean, it's not I think, this is pretty fucking good. And like, people misunderstand, like people, for example, that never played on like on console with the cross-region setting being off, they do not understand that normally, like this is not like the netcode is shit at all. Like, problem is, for example, if we are going to go to the meta data, I think, like, let me actually see to the packages. Here you go. Unfortunately, this game on PC functions within two regions. It is Japanese only and not Japanese. So, like, essentially, you have global version and Japanese version. If you are living in Japan, then you can set up cross-region play off, and in the process, you are going to have, on the average, pretty good latency. Otherwise, when you are living in Europe, you're gonna be matching with gamers that live in China, and on PC, Chinese gamers is like a half of the player base. You are inherently fucked, yeah, in such case, aside from like many other issues that PC version has problems with, because yeah, actually, like technically netcode on PC is actually very, very bad. That's true. On the consoles, this shit just works, and it's just fine. Because on consoles, like you have multiple like sales regions, let's call it that way. I think there's like 5 of them. And like I, for example, when I play the game, and it's rather novelty for me to play against someone with bad latency. It happens that I play against shitnet, someone that has like packet loss, but latency speaking, I usually play against very low latency, like I don't know, 60 milliseconds max. You can strafe everything, can jump over everything, it's fine. But well, let's continue.
Darkwood Green Ring, which went untouched for a year, more than a year, I want to say, in Dark Souls 1. Endless hackers and modders, which is still a problem even now with anti-cheat, which is, I suppose, a step in the right direction, but Elden Ring has anti-cheat, and I've run into it at least 1 or 2 hackers that I can think of off the top of my head.
Anti-cheat in Elden Ring prevents script kiddies from toggling, for example, like, I don't know, cheat engine, yeah? But yeah, like actual like people that genuinely hacking through, they are going to find their ways, sure. It's like anti-cheat in Elden Ring is not a step in right direction, it's lazy workaround, unfortunately, and that one is actually pretty bad.
It was around the time of Bloodborne I realised that PvP was just not going anywhere good. It was just dull, it was not worth taking seriously.
I mean, not worth taking seriously. That's an argument for like another discussion. We're gonna see if he's going to take on it like later on, but Bloodborne is actually an example of poorly implemented PvP. They tried something new and they failed, yeah? They tried like a proximity invasions and other stuff, and that was pretty bad at the end of the day.
Dark Souls 2 tried to make PvP more a central element. Gave us duels, factions to rank up in, and rewards, and I maintain the best balanced PvP, eventually. Of course, Dark Souls 2 had so many weapons and wacky items and spells that a lot of things were busted at some point or another, but eventually they delivered probably the best balanced PvP, in my opinion.
Okay, it's Dark Souls... Wait, the dimension is Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3? Since, like, there's Dark Souls 3 on the screen. I checked it out again, yeah. He talks about Dark Souls 2. If not for the glitches, like, for example, stand swaps, you would have, like, a... I don't know, Yujigatana, Warped Sword, and, like, maybe shields just being part of the meta and really nothing else. Like, Dark Souls 3 has a similar problem with Murky and PKCS, yeah? But shields are absurdly busted in Dark Souls 2, for example, and not many people are aware of that. It's not a popular thing, yeah? Like, on top of that, like, a Dark Souls 2 has, like, a huge problem, like, with netcode dessings, and that also throws, like, any arguments about, like, a balance out of the window, because fundamentally the game is flawed in the PvP. Like, not many people know about it, because not many people like actually dig enough into like the PvP of Dark Souls 2 to know how absolutely fucked this game is on the meta level.
And the most incentive to do so alongside invasions. Bloodborne PvP is where it kinda fell apart for me. 9 out of 10 PvP encounters would go like this. Invaded. Hit invader once. Invader sprints away with 20,000 rolls and virtually unlimited stamina, whilst having insanely fast healing that's hard to parry or interrupt because of the garbage netcode and latency. They hide with the enemies, they come back, repeat. Same stuff continues.
Dude, I actually understand this guy on the spiritual level. He hates fucking shitnet, and so do I. The problem is that like he doesn't understand that shitnet is the base state of these games. I mean, maybe Bloodborne, but Bloodborne was generally like quite a poor like a PvP. Like, this is actually crazy now when I think about it. The guy thinks of Bloodborne, then you have Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring that actually like how can you like look at these and say that like it's not like step towards the right direction when it comes to PvP. Like, Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring from the technical standpoint are so much better than this. What you mean even?
Continues on into Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, only even more ganky than before. The increased speed. Hide with the enemies, they come back, repeat. Same stuff continues on into Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, only even more ganky than before.
What? Okay, like, I am so confused right now what the guy actually means. Like, what you mean the same stuff continues? Like, if someone has shitnet, then yeah, sure, it's gonna be a problem. If someone has like a big latency to you, yeah, like above 260 milliseconds, you literally just can double roll every single hit. That's true, but at the same time, I just don't really understand argument. Like, it's not worse. Like, in Elden Ring, literally, like, let's assume that you are unfortunate enough that you are playing Elden Ring on PC and you have access only to vanilla. You don't want to play on seamless co-op that has fixed many network issues, many netcode issues, and on top of that it has like a proximity matchmaking which prioritizes like people with the low latency for you when you invade, yeah? Like, let's assume you are not invading on seamless co-op, yeah? And you're invading on the vanilla. Even so, Elden Ring, because of the mechanic / bug, consider it as you wish, of applying status effects through the rolls, you can actually still manage somehow fights on the very high latencies by poisoning, then rotting like your opponent, madnessing them, and so on and so forth through the rolls. You can keep on applying pressure and just like keep on hitting the ghost hits and still like go somewhere, because you're gonna be continuously applying the advantage for yourself in form of these status effects. Okay, let's continue.
The increased speed of actions and healing just means invaders will run away in a predictable, boring manner that robs you of any sense of...
Okay, I see what's going on. This guy is Dark Souls 2 peeled. I was too. I actually didn't play Dark Souls 3 after like initial month of trying the game, even though I was content creator back in the days of Dark Souls 2, because I was also Dark Souls 2 peeled. Dark Souls 2 had plenty good ideas, like for example, you couldn't instantly heal with an Estus, yeah? Like for me, when I started playing Dark Souls 3, it was ridiculous for me that like you could drink Estus so quickly and refill your HP so quickly. Funnily enough, it was a long time before the Estus cancel. It felt so incredibly not okay, and the fact you could turn around when you're healing and so on was so stupid to me. Now, I kind of don't see that much of a problem with that, because like from the perspective of time, I just realized that you can pressure people that heal. It kind of is on you when you're not punishing the heal, unless of course like latency is so high that the gamer can actually trigger the heal and then roll out before you can take an action, because it is of course possible that you're just gonna ghost hit them when they are already on their screen like in the roll away. But yeah, on the normal latency, it's not really that big of the problem.
Urgency. Invasions became less, oh, I've been invaded, and more, oh, I was invaded. Guess I'll just die so I can keep playing the game. Made even worse by, due to the extreme explosion of popularity Elden Ring enjoyed, most invaders using the same 2 or 3 best weapons that they found on Google. I think in all my time playing Elden Ring,
This is, dude, okay, this guy is living in some sort of the time bubble, believing in the like old good times that actually never were there. Dude, back in the days of Dark Souls 2, half of players were using a dual helix setup. This setup, this pokey setup that you see, like every second gamer that was participating in PvP was using this setup. Like, it was so incredibly fucking common. Other setups too, like, what you mean, 3 weapons? I would argue that Elden Ring, out of all the games, has the most variety when it comes to viable builds that you can utilize in invasions.
Came across, like, 2 builds that I can remember were interesting for invaders. A couple of people who just had no idea what's going on. They probably invaded by accident, or they were just trying it out and had no idea what they were doing. But everyone else is just all using the same flavor of the month weapon that the internet told them to use. You can't do much about players wanting to use the best thing.
So his argument of interesting build is what? Like some sort of the cosplay or whatever? Okay, so this video is kind of call out for people to just start playing bad and like use the bad builds, I guess, yeah? Because, oh, like you cannot use like a solitude armor with like a bunch of other pieces that give you like decent amount of poise because you are a meta slave and you are just like doing whatever other people do on the internet. You are participating in the flavor of the month or something. Dude, god fucking damn it. Like he would need to elaborate. Anyway, let's continue. Let's hear the gamer out.
So, you know, I'll put that aside for the moment. That's not really, this is just all using the same flavor of the month weapon that the internet told them to use. You can't do much about players wanting to use the best thing. So, you know, I'll put that aside for the moment. That's not really a problem with the game.
Okay.
Other than the balance being wacky, it's just people will always gravitate towards the strongest stuff. But it goes against the whole point of invasions when they become predictable and boring. For example, after people figured out that one what was it, like a dual blade thing in Shadow of the Erdtree had that ridiculous weapon art which they nerfed, but it was like, you know, like the dash forwards one. Yeah, after people figured that out, every invader was using that, and it was like, oh boy.
Swift slash.
Time to deal with the same thing 10 times.
Dual blades. Okay, dual. Okay, got it. So he's talking about BHB and the swift slash, yeah?
Row within an hour or whatever. When there's no tension, no urgency, and it's just, oh, time to pause the game whilst I deal with this, or get one shot, that's not exciting. The experience of invading and being invaded has been awful for me since Dark Souls 3, I think. You'll invade and...
Yeah, okay, like, I gotta agree, like, when something like Swift Slash happens, then there is not much you can do besides, like, pull off your own Swift Slash. I'm talking here about Swift Slash from the release of the DLC. That being said, it had been patched within a week. Swift Slash right now is not the same problem that it was in the past. One could argue, like, on the meta level, it's not really that big of the problem at all. Like, they applied the nerfs strong enough to it, so it's not like the case of, oh, someone uses Swift Slash, oh, we cannot play the game anymore, yeah? What's the argument here? I'm kind of lost. Maybe he's going to continue and elaborate on it. Let's see.
Be 3 people, so you're encouraged to use one-shot stuff, or you get spawn ganked. It's one or the other usually in most situations.
Okay, so like you are encouraged to do that because otherwise like everyone is using it, so like it's pretty bad because like then the game just feels awful, yeah, because everyone is running broken shit and there is no novelty and there is no interesting things anymore. Everyone is running the same broken shit. I would argue it's good. Unironically, I would argue it's good because the more exposed a problem is to everyone, the more people talk about it, the faster the patch gonna come. And I am very happy that Swift Slash, for example, like became so popular after people discovered how incredibly broken it is, because it was patched really quickly. As simple as that.
On the side, as mentioned, most of the time people are playing in a group and they just want to proceed through the game. So the invader is just an ant to steamroll or a temporary setback of like a minute, whilst you either steamroll them or you die and need to resummon, which takes a few seconds. People often profess, oh, well, I want the PvP for the skill and the jewels and stuff, but then they spend most of their time invading people who aren't really prepared to face their 100% PvP focused and dedicated build, and then they steamroll them. And I find that weird because there's no real challenge or satisfaction to be had there, at least not for me. Whether I win or lose, invader or invaded, not found it satisfying since Dark Souls 2. I can think of plenty of experience.
Yep, the guy is Dark Souls 2 peeled. Like, Dark Souls 3 on its own had literally location that became the dedicated spot for all the tryhards to gather together and just continuously 3v3, like 4v2 and so on and so forth. Like, after that in the DLC, one of the I think Ring City like location became like another location like that. But yeah, this guy is Dark Souls 2 peeled. Like there is like shit tons of people that just look at Dark Souls 2 and think, oh yeah, Dark Souls 2 was gorgeous, beautiful, everything else after was absolute dog shit. Dude, he is talking about invading people that are not PvP ready and so on. Dark Souls 2 was a king of invading people that were not PvP ready. In Dark Souls 2, you could invade a gamer that had minus 50% HP because he was fully hollowed. You invade the guy and one-shotted him with pretty much fucking dagger, dude. There was no even a singular as unfair game to the hosts like Dark Souls 2 was. In Dark Souls 2, you always could have been invaded, especially on the release. Like, there was not even a possibility to lock off your world. They actually implemented that later. So, like, yeah, the guy is Dark Souls 2 peeled.
Not found it satisfying since Dark Souls 2. I can think of plenty of experiences in the older games, even if the fundamental issues still existed back then. So a lot of this, I'll admit, is just me getting over PvP, over the novelty of it, which of course, someone who started with Elden Ring, they're not going to have that problem. The main issue is that Elden Ring came out 10 years after Dark Souls, but has essentially the same PvP and the same problems with the lag and the balance and the general playability. There's also the attitude of hardcore PvPers, which a lot of the times I despise, as they're very full of themselves. It's the equivalent of someone telling me how hardcore a jockey they are because they played Barbie Horse Adventures. The PvP in Dark Souls isn't really all that skill-based, even at the highest levels. You know, they go, oh, look at my...
Holy shit. Oh my god, the cope of the meat player. Okay, let's hear it.
I'm doing the skibbity shuffle or whatever, and it's like, not really, man. People put a lot more stock into it than is reasonable. And there is a reason you're not going to see Dark Souls at, like, a fighting game tournament or anything like that, because it's too janky and it's not designed very well.
Ja pierdolę. we have entire comp scene where people just, well, they do well. Like, you are not going to see PvP at Evo because, well, this game is just not big enough. It's true. But we absolutely have our comp scene, and people actually just like have the competitive circuit that is very respectable, and that's funny enough. We are just looking at the guy lagging the shit out of the entire session, which I guess is kind of against the point. But anyway, yeah, like you can see, for example, these two gamers playing rather smoothly, and there is no issues. Like, this is NA tournament, so latency is usually gonna be higher than EU tournament. But yeah, point being is that competitive scene does exist. It is small, it is community funded, and it's okay. It's not like a Counter-Strike with $50K in the prize pool like back in the 2010 or whatever. Right now, it's the prices are actually through the roof, but no one honestly cares about them because people make so much money in the Counter-Strike. I guess this is like not the point of the video though, so like maybe I'm gonna skip this topic. But point being, yes, competitive scene does exist. The people do like funny fucking side shuffle or however the guy called it. Yes, it is skill based, and saying that it is not that skillful is basically just holy fucking cope, because it doesn't matter how skillful it is, dude. Like, people have tournaments in games that are purely lag based, like in the card games and so on. That's absolutely fine, but this guy is just coping like fucking crazy though. It's not really like the game is skillful actually. Like, mechanically, Elden Ring is the most skillful game out of all of them when it comes to understanding ins and outs. Like, the addition of the jumps added a lot of novelty into the game. It's just that the problem is, for individual like this, the novelty is a fucking scrub wearing a cosplay armor. Because he's too fucking shit at the game to literally see anything besides the very fucking basics, like someone wearing fucking particular armor or using particular weapon, yeah.
These people could be playing Virtua Fighter if they wanted a balanced, a deep fighting system. They could be playing, I don't know, insert FPS game here, or...
Jesus. Holy fuck. Okay, like, I swear to God, this is so ridiculous. The guy brings games from different genres, yeah? This is what we are seeing here, yeah? It is essentially action RPG that, like, PvP combat has something that is taken away from like a fighting game. So a lot of things that we do here is kind of like a fighting games focused, but it's only part of it. It's still at the very core an action RPG. It is RPG game. There is no RPG games with the PvP systems, at least that would be like at least half as good as the ones created by From Software. This is god awful, dude. Like, okay, like I thought like this guy gonna have some arguments, but no, his arguments is, yeah, like I am a scrub, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna yap PvP bad. Like, holy shit.
Insert Dota clone here, but instead they play this, and a lot of them act like it's the pinnacle of PvP, which is just weird to me. It's like, if you enjoy the PvP, that's fine. If you enjoy invading people or being
Broski literally sits with 3 other players under the chameleon, and this is so fucking unique to these games that you can do this shit in the multiplayer. And he's like, oh, there's no novelty in this game. They could, like, people could play like something else because this is like, oh, the other games would better. Dude, holy shit. Just look at your fucking screen and show me other game that actually does that. That's why people play it. Like, these games are unique. These games are the best that we can have so far. If there would be someone else that would take over and make like a as good multiplayer experiences as From Software, I can assure you a lot of people would have moved on. But no one makes these. People, different studios tried and they failed.
Faded and ganking people, you know, that's whatever, that's you. But acting like this is some extremely finely tuned and well-crafted mechanic is odd to me.
Literally do not know like even a singular person that would play this game for extended amount of hours and would have approached that, yeah, the game is perfect.
Because it's not. Do people take Minecraft PvP seriously? That's about the same level to me.
Ja pierdolę. Reddit Minecraft competitive. There is entire Minecraft competitive scene focused around a server that is... I don't remember how it was called, but it's like one of the biggest networks in Minecraft, and these tournaments have like $10,000s in the prize pools. Yeah, I guess it is Minecraft, and people found their niche within Minecraft that they enjoy, which is PvP, and it is bad because it's not like... I don't know, the main core of the game, I guess. God fucking damn it, like this Cooper is... you are insane, dude. Like, you literally just like look at people and think like, oh, what you're doing is not as important as what I think is important, and therefore, fuck you. Like, oh my god, dude, fuck off. Holy shit. It's really hard to watch this shit, not gonna lie.
To reiterate, if you love PvP, that's fine, I'm glad. I do think it's smart to acknowledge the issues with it, which I think is what I'm trying to get at here. To hope or demand more from FromSoft, I think they are fully capable of implementing various things. And I guess to some extent, they tried. You know, they put in anti-cheat. Elden Ring is capable of balance changes that work independently for PvE and PvP, which is good. It's a nice step. They did try to do more frequent balance patches. I don't know how well that worked, because the last time I did any PvP was Shadow of the Erdtree launch, where it was garbage. It's probably less garbage now. You know, they've probably balanced it out more, but since the Seamless Co-op came out, the only PvP I've done is messing around with jewels against my friends. I'm not really sure what the goal is with this video, to be honest. I don't think
I don't know either.
Been more than a side note and a distraction for the game developers. Something they keep in because it's there and they don't want to remove a relatively popular feature. So at the end of the day, maybe my issues lie more with people in the community who take it so seriously.
Ja pierdolę, you fucking scrub. Why the fuck you bitch ass take seriously a lore of the video game? It's only a video game. Wow, let's look at these videos. Lore of Orstay and Smough, like a crossbred Priscilla? Oh my god, dude, why would you take fucking like even a singular fuck about something like this? It's like made up story. It doesn't matter, man. Like, for real. Like, holy shit, dude. Bruh, you enjoy something? What's the problem with that? Lore is cool. PvP is cool. It's cool to deep dive into like interesting lore of like world of Dark Souls, and it's also cool to dive into like intricate world of PvP in this game, like no matter if duels or invasions, dude. Jesus fuck, dude, like this is crazy, dude. This is a content creator. He spent like thousands of hours researching lore of the freaking Souls games, and motherfucker is like, oh, you are doing something niche? Oh, you kind of cringe.
They invade you, they get mad. Like, what? You came into my world, my game, why are you angry? That's like,
about what?
You came with issues like more with people in the community who take it so seriously. They invade you, they get mad. Like, what? You came into my world, my game, why are you angry? That's
about
like
what?
Breaking into my house, and then I smack you on the head with a stick, and you're like...
Yes, I airword your wife because I invaded you in the video game. Jesus
wow.
Fuck.
Way to bow and be honorable. You win, they get mad. You lose, they somehow get mad. Everyone is mad. They think you're mad too. There's no chill. And I think, to some extent, it shows an odd sort of personality if your idea of having a good time is...
This is a rage bait. I stopped to believe like that's not a rage bait. Like, what is the video even about right now? Now he has a problem of someone like getting mad over the video game or something like that, which, wow, haven't seen that ever, especially on Xbox in the days of Call of Duty, I guess.
It's going, right, time for video games. I'm going to sit down and spend 3 or 4 hours attempting to stop people from progressing in that video game.
Ja pierdolę. I imagine him like growing out red hair and like horns on his like cheeks. Like he becomes Kevin with every single minute passing in this video.
Maybe that's just me getting older though. Back in the day, I loved invading because I wanted to show off a stupid build or get some cool fights in. I knew that most of the time I'd be invading people who knew I was coming at the Kiln of the First Flame or in the forest. But now it's, I can invade, but chances are I'll either spawn in with 3 phantoms there and I get like walloped, or I happen to get my one-shot spell or gimmicky weapon art off. That's it, you know? I invaded, I pressed button, I won, or I pressed button and I lost. That's just how it's been since like Dark Souls 3 for me.
I think I understand his problem.
Gimmick.
He literally just like fights against the guy in the shit armor, in the shit defenses. Bro literally has no fucking pants. And he killed him in 3 hits and being like, hey, the game kind of dog shit because you either like just like a one-shot people or they one-shot you. Well, maybe you're playing against people that have shit armor and maybe you yourself have shit armor. Maybe the game's supposed to like work a little bit differently and it does. Maybe you're supposed to go to that freaking pontiff and see that it does work a little bit differently. Dark Souls 3 out of all these games has like the longest time to kill. And the guy like makes the point, like if he would be talking about Elden Ring, sure, in Elden Ring time to kill can be absurdly fast.
It's stagnated. They've not worked hard enough to improve it. The community's grown increasingly horrible and obsessive and sweaty. It's been an overall...
Okay, so the gamer is actually making this point, dude. The community is getting sweaty. I'm gonna tell you what. Community is going to improve at the game, no matter what Scrabbish yourself think of that, and it's going to be the case. The bar is always gonna be moving up and up because more tech and more like a ways of playing being discovered, and more like ways of playing actually goes out to people. Channels like G's that like since 2000 and I think like a 17 or something like making content for firstly Dark Souls 3, after that for like Elden Ring, or even like dude like Chase the Bro, like the best example of someone that actually makes like decent numbers on his videos. Yeah, like Chase is a sweat. He's like using everything that other like so-called sweats like doing. It's just normal that the bar gonna go up. The bare minimum that you have to actually be considered meat at the game gonna go up, and it's always was like that. No matter what game you are looking at, like whatever people were doing in Counter-Strike back in 2012 is considered as basically just below average thing in comparison to what people do nowadays. The expectations are higher. People are improving at the game. There is more information about how you're supposed to play the game more optimally. People are interested in how to be decent at the game because not everyone is a fucking loser that looking at like someone else being decent at the game, being like, oh, that's so not good because I have to improve myself. And I don't wanna, I want to have my 3 victories because I want everyone to be as bad as me. Dude, this motherfucker is so entitled and I am so pissed with every fucking single another second passing in this video. Entitlement through the fucking roof, just looking at shit only from the perspective, look at me, I literally deserve to win invasions without being any better because I said so, because otherwise the game just is sweaty and you all fucking are like bad people because you actually getting better at it. Wow. This is fucking disgusting, dude. Why you are not going to fucking run rags and then die to 2 hits of my fucking hammer? Like, it's not like even this guy like playing some sort of the weakest build. It's not like he's running around with, I don't know, like a broken straight sword and just like beating people with it in their face. No, bro is fucking 3-shotting gamers around and he's being like, oh, the sweaty gamers actually fucking like I cannot do that to them. Fuck them, dude. Jesus, disgusting, dude. You are. I just don't fucking get it. I'm getting triggered like shit, dude. This is fucking terrible argumentation. This is approach of absolute fucking scrap that doesn't want to improve at all.
Waste of time from my perspective. Rebel and obsessive and sweaty. It's been an overall waste of time from my perspective, and I wouldn't mind if they took it out because they've sanded a lot of the personality away too, making it bland and inoffensive. yet still the number one thing that gets people seething with rage, no matter the outcome. It's so weird being killed by an invader and then they send you hate mail. It's like, what do you want, man? You won. Like, good. Why are you angry?
Yeah, pierdole, dude. What is even... Dude, okay. So, speaking of hate mails, it was literally always like this. People were sending hate mails for whatever reason. Let me actually do it. Before I actually gained any popularity within the communities, look at these comments. This is 2014. I just started doing content in Dark Souls 2. Nice backstep parry, abuse Cancerus Polak. This guy doesn't know how to Fight Club works. The lag is real nice. Very good player at Dark Souls. Oh, thank you. Lagging is the only way this guy can get by. Well done, bro. Very good luck at Dark Souls 2. And dude, it's 100 pages, yeah? Reported. 10 out of 10 lag. Nice lag, dude. Shame you still got parried and owned. Glorious Poland lag. Lag, Poland, meta weapon, top lel. Lol, get owned, fucking loser. Noob, hacker, gay. Hacker, noob, noob. Noob gay. Your computer is so slow, man. Don't play games and never again. People that send you hate mails usually are kind of fucked in the head anyway. It doesn't matter on which side, if that's the side of the... If invader gonna send you the hate mail or the host gonna send you the hate mail. People just doing like various different type of like bullshittery when they are like within the online communities. And this guy is like old school gamer, yeah? Yet again, this gamer was doing content back in the days of... Well, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, bro was doing content, and actually content that was doing lots of views. And for whatever reason, despite that many years of experience within various different communities, I presume, or even within like a Souls communities across various different ways, he's still like acting like that would be some sort of a surprise.
That's just my take on it though. And again, this is coming from someone who's been doing the PvP since 2011.
Here you
which
go.
is very different from someone who started in 2022, where it's still going to be fairly fresh. I get no satisfaction no matter what way you slice the PvP cake. Outside of that one time in Shadow of the Erdtree where I popped a dude mid-air and watched his body fall in a really funny way. But yeah, what do you think?
Okay.
Why do you PvP? What do you like about it? If you've been doing PvP since the 360 PS3 days, why is it still exciting and fresh to you, do you think? Is it because there isn't any other PvP experience quite like it? Sure, there's fighting games, there's FPSs, but there's nothing really like Dark Souls Invasions, is there? Which is fair. So even if it's kind of rubbishly balanced and you gotta suffer a lot of nonsense, you just love the concept of invasions and being invaded. Maybe? Let me know down in the comments. I'm really interested to see how these two new titles pan out. One is PvP
so like
focused, the other has no PvP. You can probably guess which one I'm looking forward to.
So there is no experience like these games, and also the experience is nearly not even like as bad as the guy actually portrays it. This video is shit, unfortunately. It's opinion of uneducated individual that yaps on PvP and makes it in the fashion that provides nothing to the discussion, but spreads more of uneducated misinformation. It's a fucking terrible video, unfortunately.